I said, paint me a picture of the old homestead, of a country churchyard where my parents lie. Paint me a picture of the house where we once lived, 'cause it stands like a mansion on the hillside. Well, I was just a farmer's son who left the hills like everyone was doing that year when we finished school. Went to the city and looked for work with 4-H emblem on my shirt. No one was gonna take me for a fool. I won and I lost 100 jobs. It seemed no matter what I got, there was no kind of work that suited me. And before I knew it, the years had passed. I saw my face in the window glass, just another wino on the street. And I said, paint me a picture of the old homestead, of a country churchyard where my parents lie. Paint me a picture of the house where we once lived, 'cause it stands like a mansion on the hillside. One day when I was on the street begging quarters so a boy could eat, I just bought a quart of cheap Chablis. I saw a man with a box of chocolate drawing pictures on the gray sidewalk with a little sign that said donations please. Well, as that man looked up at me, something weird come over me. Yes, I could swear it was someone I once knew. Well, as turned out, we were high school chums. Now here we were, just drunken bums. Now ain't it sweet what 30 years can do? And I said, paint me a picture of the old homestead, of a country churchyard where my parents lie. Paint me a picture of the house where we once lived, 'cause it stands like a mansion on the hillside. We drank that jug of wine, and we talked about the good old times. Our heads were full of booze and memories. Well, and the old man said, I got to go, but I dragged his sleeve and I whispered low, before you do one thing, please do for me. Everybody sing it. And that is, paint me a picture of the old homestead, of a country churchyard where my parents lie. Paint me a picture of the house where we once lived, 'cause it stands like a mansion on the hillside. Yes, it stands like a mansion on the hillside. Thank you.
You heard about that four-piece hammer dulcimer group that Utah Phillips immediately christened the Hammerites? No, what about it? Skyway by Doug McCarthy. Well, I was left driving late in the evening. The sun had just split for the coast. In the back they're all sleeping from hitting the wine, but I was still straighter than most. Watching the last of the clear purple twilight, burning the road to blood wine. As we come rolling down the skyway, as we come rolling down the skyway. Well, me and my good friends, we come a long way. We still got a long way to go. Tonight I've been playing the songs in my head, 'cause out here there's no radio. And out in the darkness there's a young girl awaiting rolling down the skyway. As we come rolling down the skyway. I said hi, toss your pack way up in the back. Sit down and ease up your load. Come sit here beside me and keep me awake and help me relate to the road. But she wasn't talking, not smiling or nothing, so I reached in the back for the wine. As we come rolling down the skyway. As we come rolling down the skyway. Well, my hands got unsteady, 'cause I wasn't ready. Something as foolish as this. Some teenaged Madonna who hitched from Toronto with a mouth that had never been kissed. And then she was talking in a voice dressed in muslin, words like razors and bread. As we come rolling down the skyway. As we come rolling down the skyway. She's talking about the space that's come between us. As we come rolling down. She's talking about the boat we all have to row. She's talking about the friend she's found in Jesus. As we come rolling down. She's talking about how far we all have to go. How far we all have to go as we come rolling down. As we come rolling down. As we come rolling down the skyway.
Here in Bermuda, you've had a kind of a safe ringside seat to about 15 years of mortal agony, 600 miles to the west of you. Our friends and neighbors in the United States have gone through an awful rough time over the past 15 years. But still in all, no matter how the rest of the world dumps on them, you've got to hand it to the Americans. They are a great country and a great people. And I've come to that conclusion through meeting an awful lot of them in the past 6 or 8 months. One of the ones I've met is a young fellow by the name of Mark Rust. During the last year of the war in Vietnam, he wrote this song. It's from a true experience. Jamie was a friend of mine who used to live next door. We were young and the world was just for fun. We only wanted to play soldiers and we did not ask for more. Jamie was always on the side that won. And we shot each other dead with plastic guns. Now we knew there was a war in Asia, but we didn't know that either one of us would ever fight. But Jamie's dad was awful glad that he had a son to go, and Jamie said his dad knew what was right. And we put away his G.I. Joe that night. Oh, how can we ever tell the dead that the cost of life hasn't been paid for? Oh, how can we take back what we said when it's everything we've ever lived for? The next few months we spent our time just trying to find a way to live 10 years of friendship o'er again. But time finally came and brought that train that took Jamie away, and from that day forth I can no more pretend, for that was the last I ever saw my friend. Oh, how can we ever tell the dead that the cost of life hasn't been paid for? Oh, how can we take back what we said when it's everything we've ever lived for? Now, did he die for pride or freedom? Well, I never really knew, 'cause after Jamie left, his family moved away. But I always wanted to ask them why they had let Jamie go, till I finally saw his mom the other day. But she didn't really have that much to say. Oh, how can we ever tell the dead that the cost of life hasn't been paid for? Oh, how can we take back what we said when it's everything we've ever lived for? Sing it with me now. Oh, how can we ever tell the dead that the cost of life hasn't been paid for? Oh, and how can we take back what we said when it's everything we've ever lived for? Don't the moon shine pretty through the old electric lights? This part of the city seems like good old times. There's a place I sometimes go to set my heart to rise, winding up my chances to unwind. But love can't be bitter all the time. A young man and a martin sing inside a swinging door, and in between the sets we share a drink sometimes. When he's done, there's not a man so cruel to ask for more. Still, there's not a woman there so kind. But love can't be bitter all the time. He married her in much time. He loves his sweet October child like any father does. Still he thinks he's done some kind of crime. But love can't be bitter all the time. The bitter years, they bound him to a girl he never knew. Children raising children raise up hard times. He tried and tried again till there was nothing left to do but leave and leave a busted dream behind. But love can't be bitter all the time. About the mountains to forget himself again, and talks about the beauty of that lonely climb. I think he's gonna make it, and I'm glad that he's my friend. I tell him about the good loves over wine, and that love can't be bitter all the time. So if you've got a heartache on, if you need a friend, and if you like good music, there's a friend of mine. There's a place I go to when my heart is on the mend. If you come there with me, you're gonna find that love can't be bitter all the time. Love can't be bitter all the time. Love can't be bitter all the time. Love can't be bitter all the time.
What has become of the old Rose and Crown, the ship, the King's Arms, and the world upside down? For oak, brass, and leather, and a pint of the best fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. This song was written by a good friend of mine by the name of Ian Robb. Ian recently journeyed to his native England and found, much to his dismay, that the pubs that were so near and dear to everything that was near and dear to him, namely beer, had changed vastly and had become slightly modernized, gotten rid of all the old oak and brass and leather. He was heartbroken. The beer was bad too. So he came back to Canada and he wrote this song. Good friends, gather round and I'll tell you a tale. It's a story well known to all lovers of ale. For the old English pub, once a man's second home, has been decked out by brewers in plastic and chrome. Oh, what has become of the old Rose and Crown? The ship, the King's Arms, and the world upside down. For oak, brass, and leather, and a pint of the best, fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. The old oaken bar where the pump filled your glass gives way to Formica and tanks full of gas. And the landlord behind, once a man of good cheer, now just mumbles the price as he hands you your beer. Oh, what has become of the old Rose and Crown? The ship, the King's Arms, and the world upside down. For oak, brass, and leather, and a pint of the best, fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. And where are the friends who would meet for a jar and a good game of darts? Ow! Ooh, sorry. In the old public bar. Well, the dartboard is gone. In its place is a thing where you pull on a handle and lose all your tin. Oh, what has become of the old Rose and Crown? The ship, the King's Arms, and the world upside down. For oak, brass, and leather, and a pint of the best, fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. But the worst of it all is what they've done to the beer.
My God.
Those shandies and lagers just make you feel queer. For an arm and a leg they will fill up your glass with an half mixture of ullage and gas. Oh, what has become of the old Rose and Crown? The ship, the King's Arms, and the world upside down. For oak, brass, and leather, and a pint of the best, fade away like the sun as it sinks in the west. So come all you fine people that like to sup ale. Let's hope for a happier end to me tale. For there's nothing can fill a man's heart with more cheer than to sit in a pub with a pint of good beer. Oh, what has become of the old Rose and Crown? The ship, the King's Arms, and the world upside down. For oak, brass, and leather, and a pint of the best, fade away like the sun as it sinks in the